My dad had one absolute rule growing up. Never open the hood of any car in our driveway. Not mine, not his, not mom's. I thought it was just about safety when I was younger. Don't burn yourself on the engine. Don't pinch your fingers. Normal dad stuff. But I didn't start questioning it until I turned 16 and got my first car. A hand-me-down Civic from my uncle who'd passed away. The day dad gave me the keys, he looked me dead in the eyes. Ryan, you listening? Don't ever open that hood. I mean it. His face was serious. Too serious. Like he was warning me about something worse than a hot engine. For the first few months, I just drove it normally until I started noticing the sounds. Whenever I turned the key, there'd be this wheezing noise, like someone struggling to breathe. Then this wet tearing sound mixed with mechanical clicking. It got louder when I accelerated. I rode in my friends' cars and realized their engines didn't sound like that. They hummed, they purred. Mine sounded like it was in pain. When I asked my dad about it during dinner, he went completely silent. His fork stopped midair. Mom looked terrified. What did I tell you about asking questions? His voice shook with rage. Drop it, now. I thought he was going to hit me. Instead, he just stared until I nodded and left the table. 2 weeks later, I was sitting at a red light when I heard it. The voice was faint, barely audible over the radio, but I heard someone begging for help. My hands were shaking when I parked at school. I sat there for 10 minutes, staring at the hood. Then I pulled the release lever. The pop echoed through the parking lot. I got out and wedged my fingers under the metal, took a deep breath, then lifted. The smell hit me first. Rotting meat mixed with burning oil. Then I saw it. A man, or what used to be a man, spread throughout the engine in pieces, fingers jutting out at wrong angles, moving slowly like dying spiders, a single lung expanding and contracting with ragged, horrible breaths, metal tubes pierced through the flesh, wires wrapped around exposed bones, gears grinding through skin, and the face, stretched so thin I could see the skull underneath, eyes forced open and bloodshot, the nose just 2 holes leaking black mucus, the mouth stretched wide, revealing shattered teeth stained with oil. It screamed when it saw me. I fell backward. The hood slammed shut and I threw up right there in the parking lot. I couldn't focus all day, couldn't stop seeing it. When school ended, I sat in my car for 20 minutes before I could turn the key. The engine groaned to life. Bones snapped, flesh tore. The voice rattled from the vents, begging for oil. I couldn't take it. I drove home shaking and found an oil container in the garage. Popped the hood again. The mouth opened as wide as it could. I poured, watched the thick yellow liquid flow into its mouth. It gulped it down like it was dying of thirst. Oil dribbled from the corners, coating the broken teeth. When the tears stopped flowing from its eyes, I slammed the hood shut. This became my routine for the next week. The engine would make requests. Slow down, turn off the AC. I did everything it asked. One night at dinner, Mom pulled out old photo albums, baby pictures, family vacations. Then I saw him, a man holding me as a baby. Who's that? My throat went dry. That's your Uncle Marcus. He was your father's brother, Mom said softly. Dad's jaw clenched. He died when you were little. How? Car accident. Terrible thing. He stood up abruptly. I'm going to bed. After Mom went to sleep, I knew what I had to do. I grabbed Dad's keys and went outside, unlocked his car, pulled the lever. The hood opened with a sick cracking sound. I lifted it slowly. The stench was unbearable, worse than mine. The face was older, wrinkled skin, gray hair stitched into the scalp, greenish flesh melted around metal, but I recognized him from the photos. My grandfather. What are you doing? Dad's voice behind me made me jump. I turned around, terrified. I told you never to look. He stared at me with empty eyes, always so curious, just like Marcus was. I backed into the car. Someday it'll be me in there, then your mother. He stepped closer, and eventually you. He turned and walked back inside. I stood there in the driveway frozen. The image of my grandfather's face burned into my mind forever. I wrote this because I can't keep the secret anymore. Dad said if I told anyone, my time would come sooner. But someone needs to know what's really under those